It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the U.S. of A. and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations. We cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Kruse.
Welcome aboard. I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving spent with family or friends and that not too many politics were discussed at the kitchen table. This week on the show, I want to start things off by telling you about what's happening next week on the show. You're definitely going to want to tune in because it's our Christmas gift giveaway show. Here's how it works. We're going to have guests on and they're going to be giving away gifts. And you listen to the show and you decide what one gift you want for Christmas. And you contact me through my website, through AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com, and let me know what one gift you want for Christmas. You only get to choose one, and one lucky winner will be drawn for each gift. And we'll notify you on Monday right after we're done. So again, next weekend, it's our annual Christmas gift giveaway show. I think we've got some really nice gifts to give away, so don't miss out on this one. This week on the show, we've got some great guests for you. In just a minute, you're going to hear from Charlie Sherts. He invented something called the Mozy that you're going to love if you're an outdoor sports enthusiast. Or after we talk to Charlie, we're going to be talking to Jeff Rawlinson. He is the vice president for the National Archery in the Schools program. It's a great program that is in well over 1,000 schools, and it introduces kids to archery and competition. And as you might imagine, it's a great gateway into other shooting sports and into hunting and conservation. Our next guest, Eddie Dalmau. He is with Baja Pirates, and he's got a fresh fishing report from Magdalena Bay down on the west coast of Baja, Mexico. And if you want to get into a sunny December vacation with all sorts of great fishing in two different settings, you're going to be fishing out at sea in the Pacific Ocean, but you're also going to be fishing in the Bay of Magdalena, also known as Mag Bay. And this is a bay surrounded by mangroves, and it's a very different fishing experience that you're going to find anywhere else in the Baja Peninsula. The trip is all-inclusive, and they definitely have openings for December, and you don't want to miss out on this. It would also be a great Christmas gift, too, if you want to go ahead and take somebody who loves fishing like you down to the Baja Peninsula, a couple hours west of Loreto, next year. Our final guest of the day, that would be Phil Monohan. He's got a brand new book out. It is the Orvis Quick Start Guide to Fly Fishing. And if you want to get into fly fishing, or if you know somebody that wants to get into fly fishing, this book is fantastic. It's an A to Z in terms of everything you need to know about getting started fly fishing. It'll take you through everything from what kind of fish you can catch to setting up your rod and reel. It'll give you recommendations on flies to use in terms of dry flies and streamers and midges and nymphs. Flies will work all over the country. And we'll wind things up telling you about a program in Ohio where hunters are donating deer, and those deer are going to food pantries. It's a great program during this season of giving. All right, without further ado, let's introduce you to our first guest of the day. Next up, we're heading to Connecticut. We're going to meet up with Charlie Sherts. He is the man behind a new product called Mozy. And if you spend time watching your kids' football games or soccer games or other sports in the fall and the winter, or maybe you're an ice fisherman that spends a lot of time sitting on a bucket in a little ice shanty, I think you're going to be very interested in what Mozy's all about. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
So, Charlie, why don't you go ahead and explain exactly what Mozy is?
Well, Mozy stands for Mobile and Cozy. And what Mozy is a lower body blanket that's over 500% warmer than other blankets. And its purpose is to keep your lower body warm when you're doing outdoor sports or outdoor activities.
You know, on your website, I noticed that you had a nice little figure there showing that the average person who's sitting outside in 37-degree weather with a 10-mile-an-hour wind, they're going to lose like 56 degrees in temperature sitting on bleachers. And somebody with a stadium blanket's still going to lose 30-something%. But with Mozy, you only lose 4%. Is that right?
That's correct.
warm.
And that's what I have the patents on. I'm an engineer and specializing in heat transfer and thermodynamics, and also a father of 2 very active children. So I spent a lot of time outdoors on cold bleachers, and my butt was always cold, even though I had a heavy jacket on and heavy boots and gloves and hats, but just wearing jeans. And that's when I invented the Mozy.
Well, I think there's a lot of folks who are going to be very glad that you did, both football enthusiasts, sports enthusiasts, and, again, ice anglers, too. So let's talk about what makes it so warm.
Well, unique properties. It blocks the convective heat loss, which is your wind chill, and it does it in such a way that it retains your body's warmth, and where a blanket just doesn't do it, and other wraps don't do it. They leave big gaps. And so, and the way it's constructed is to block all the wind, which also blocks rain and weather and snow. And then it creates a warm boundary layer of warmth against your skin. And that's where the cozy fleece on the inside comes in. And what really works is all the elastics that are in it that hold it close to your body, and heat just doesn't escape. And so as an engineer, I ran a lot of tests with thermocouples and side-by-side tests and went through actually 41 different iterations to get to this design.
Wow.
And when I got here and the test results showed well over 500% warmer, I said, this is it. And I decided it. And when I showed friends, they loved it. And I said, well, I guess I'm going to market it.
Well, that's an amazing story. Now, you alluded to the fact that it is weather resistant, but it's not completely waterproof, is it?
No. Waterproof is a tricky definition. And since there are some stitches in it, I can't claim it to be completely waterproof. But it works well in a rainstorm, or if you sit on a wet bleacher, you're going to stay dry.
And how do you actually put it on? You wrap it around you, and do you require a belt, or is it just Velcro?
No, and that's the beauty of it. It's very quick to put on. You just wrap it around like a towel, and it's got 12 inches of Velcro on there, and it secures at any size. So in warmer weather, you leave it more open so you get more air, and then in cold weather, you wrap it a little tighter. And so it's very quick to get on, and it's engineered so that in an emergency and you have to walk out of it, it will release. So you aren't stuck in this thing like some other things that have zippers on them and things like that.
Well, this is wonderful invention you've come up with. Now, I understand it comes in 3 colors, and what is the price?
The price is right in the $100 range, and we are offering a special Black Friday deal at 50% off. And then we offer often little specials for different holidays.
Well, that sounds fantastic. And the colors that it comes in?
It comes in the black, which is the most popular. It comes in a dark blue, and it comes in a gray. It also comes with different colored trims that are popular also. The trims are a teal trim, a red trim, and a gray trim.
All right. Very nice. So if people want to buy it, it's not in stores, it's online. What's the website they go to?
The website is getthemozy.com. GETTHEMOZY. Mozy.
All right. Getthemozy.com. If you want to stay warm this fall and winter, this is definitely something you're going to want to have wrapped around your waist. Again, getthemozy.com. Check it out and take advantage of that Black Friday sale that's going on this weekend. Thanks so much, Charlie.
All right. Thank you. Do you love to fish? Do you love to eat fish?
Well, if you do, you know how important it is to have something to keep things sharp. Now, in the boat, it might be something to keep your hook sharp, like maybe the pocket knife sharpener from Work Sharp, which also works just fine along with the guided field sharpener for keeping fillet knives sharp. So when it comes to cleaning those fish you catch for the day, you can get that done in a hurry. And let's not forget, back at the house, when you're preparing those fish for a meal, that's when you want to have a kitchen knife sharpener, and there's several electric ones available. You can find them all at worksharptools.com, which lists all sorts of both manual and electric sharpeners you can use in the kitchen, in the shop, or in the field. Sharp hooks and sharp knives make for a happy day on the water, so get your sharpener today at worksharptools.com or look for these products at quality sporting goods stores and hardware stores near you.
Looking to reel in the marketing opportunity of a lifetime? Then set the hook, because we've got it right here. America Outdoors Radio has sponsorships available, and we offer an affordable platform to reach thousands of listeners interested in fishing, hunting, and the outdoors. Find out more by contacting host John Kruse through his website at AmericanOutdoorsRadio.com. That's AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. But hurry, if you wait too long, this big opportunity might just get away. That's AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com.
Modular. When it comes to getting the most out of your Camp Chef 2-burner propane stove, that's the word to use. Sure, you can cook directly over either burner with a pot or pan, but how about putting a grill box on to serve up burgers, steaks, or chicken? Put a griddle on to cook up your breakfast. Pizza? We've got that covered too with our pizza oven that you place right over the stove. Whatever you're cooking while camping or at home, Camp Chef has got you covered. Find out more about modular stove accessories at campchef.com today.
You're back in with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse. We've got Jeff Rawlinson on the line. He is the Vice President with the National Archery in the Schools program, also known in short as NASP. Jeffrey, welcome to the show.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about the National Archery in the Schools program? How does it work? What kids are involved? And exactly how many kids are involved?
Absolutely. Well, we're pretty excited about this program. It's more of a phenomenon than a program, really, but it's taken the nation like crazy, and we're really excited that it has spread across the United States as great as it has. We're an in-school archery program. We're aimed at improving educational performance among students in the grades 4 through 12, and also aimed at increasing the participation in the shooting sports. And it's just so turned out that it's done both. It's done phenomenal things for kids over the last many years here, starting in 2002, and also it's had incredible impacts on getting kids involved in the shooting sports and the outdoors in general. And students learn focus, self-control, discipline, patience, life lessons they can carry on into life. And, of course, archery is also a skill they can carry on into life and find success in and outside the classroom. So could not be more excited about the impacts we're having across North America.
Is this a curriculum that's incorporated into like a phys ed program, or is this like an after-school club?
Exactly right. It's an in-school program, and so it has to be part of the school's curriculum. And so the schools generally take it on as part of their physical education program, and that's probably where it resides in just about most of the schools across the United States and in Canada. But it also has, teachers teaching it in history classes or math classes, but the bulk of it is in a physical education program.
And what's the equipment? I imagine it's fairly standardized.
It's absolutely standardized, and that's actually one of the reasons for the massive success of the program, reaching 1.2 million kids last year. We use the Genesis bow made by Brennan Industries. The Genesis bow is an incredible bow that allows kids of all ages and all sizes to utilize the same equipment with unlimited draw length and let off. We use the Easton 1820 arrow. It's an aluminum arrow designed for the program with safety in mind as well as success for the kids, and it stands up to a lot of use. It's a perfect arrow for the perfect bow for this program.
And what's the cost for bringing in this program to a school?
Well, it depends on what equipment they order, but generally speaking, the school's looking at a cost of anywhere from maybe $500 or more, and then NASP works with the state fish and wildlife agencies to help offset those costs. The state fish and wildlife agencies also have some funding that they utilize in the program. Usually, it's part of their federal funding that they utilize from the Pittman-Robertson Act of 1937, their wildlife restoration funding, to help offset those costs. So in general, it depends on what they buy in the kit, but schools get an incredibly subsidized archery kit that is only found and only available through the National Archery in the Schools program.
Okay. What is the website folks should go to if they want to get their school involved? NASPschools.org. Say that one more time. NASPschools.org. All right. And NASP, of course, is for National Archery in the Schools program, so NASPschools.org. Okay, that's NASPschools.org. If you are interested in getting this into your school, that's the website to go to. Let's talk about some recent news, and that includes a new 3D program.
Yes, we're real excited about NASP 3D. It's going to take off like crazy. We have a lot of schools that have been shooting 3D through the program since about 2016, I believe. Yeah, and we invigorated that program with new support, helping the states get the support they need to implement the NASP 3D program in schools across their states. Yeah, and we couldn't be more excited about it. We've also doubled our scholarship program to mimic what we've been doing in NASP Bullseye, so that the kids shooting NASP 3D also have the same scholarship reach as they did within the Bullseye program as well. So we couldn't be more excited about what we're doing in the 3D part. It's just a ton of fun for kids, and we certainly believe that NASP 3D also leads to even more involvement by kids in the outdoors.
Oh, absolutely. Now, are all the targets like deer or elk, or are there other 3D targets as well?
Yeah, so we have a very standardized target package as well. Reinhardt Targets provides the targets with a very specialized and standardized scoring ring on those 3D targets that actually matches the scoring ring on our Bullseye targets as well. So the transition for kids who are new to archery to transition from Bullseye to 3D is pretty. So yes, targets are standardized as well. In our Bullseye, the targets are fairly well standardized, but we've got a few manufacturers that make our Bullseye targets, Morel targets, American Whitetail, and Reinhardt, and then Faradyne all supply those targets for the program, all very specific standards that we have for those targets, so that no matter which ones the kids are using, the same principles apply in their shooting and scoring.
Let's talk about a charity tournament series that is going on through NASP right now. It's the National Archery in the Schools St. Jude E-Championship. Tell me about this and who it benefits.
Oh, this is wonderful. This is NASP kids, NASP schools, NASP kids giving back and realizing that there are kids less fortunate that could use some of their support. And so through the virtual tournament, using NASP Archery through a virtual tournament, school students are able to help fundraise for St. Jude. Last year, NASP Archers raised more than $31,000 for St. Jude through a combination of live and virtual tournaments, and they'll be doing the same again this year. And it's just a really cool way for kids to give back while doing something that they love, which is archery, and recognizing that they too can help support other people that might need a little bit of help. And so a great connection.
St. Jude, isn't this a series of hospitals that cater to children?
Exactly right.
Okay, fantastic. And one last thing we should mention is NASP is going to attend SHOT Show in January. Is this the first time?
We are. We're really excited about coming to SHOT Show in January. Both our president, Tommy Floyd, and myself will be there, as well as some of our other staff. We'll have a board member or two there, a few board members there as well. So we'll be coming there in force. And our goal when we get to SHOT Show is we want to meet and work with entities, both media as well as industry, who might share some of the same passions that we share for reaching 1.3 million kids in 2026 and helping those kids find pathways in life that are productive, responsible, help them in school, help them gain pathways to the outdoors. And we certainly are one of the very few organizations, being the largest youth shooting sports organization in the world. We definitely have the scale to help make that happen. So we're looking for partners that are willing to capitalize on that scale and help us further reach more schools and more kids in 2026. And so we'll be there on the 21st and 22nd of SHOT Show to make those connections.
All right, folks, that's Jeff Rawlinson, the Vice President for the National Archery in the Schools program. And Jeff, I look forward to seeing you at SHOT Show in January.
Outstanding. Looking forward to it.
I'm U.S. Army veteran Noelle Corley, a proud alumna of Warriors and Quiet Waters and a current member of the Warriors and Quiet Waters Alumni Advisory Council. Just recently, my husband John completed WQW's 9-month-long Built for More program. I've seen firsthand how Built for More transforms lives for warriors and their families. This program empowers veterans to thrive, not just survive. Learn more today at WQWF.org.
Once again, that's WQFW.org.
Looking for the perfect gift for the hunter or shooter in your life? Give them a Henry. These American-made lever-action guns shoot straight and have a classic Western look. Choose from a .22 caliber Henry for plinking, a heavier caliber for hunting, or even a shotgun for birds and small game. Better still, these guns come in all sorts of finishes, covering everything from use in the field or on the range to showing off the best-looking firearm in your zip code. Henry rifles and shotguns come with a lifetime guarantee. And if you help need deciding what Henry is right for you, just ask. The award-winning customer service team at henryusa.com will be happy to help you out. So, go to henryusa.com and order a free catalog and holiday gift guide. Then, find what you like, look for a dealer near you, and get a gift that will put a real smile on someone's face this holiday season. Start searching for your Henry now at henryusa.com. That's henryusa.com.
Welcome back to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse. It's getting cold out there, folks, and one way to beat the cold is to head south to Baja, Mexico. And if you're going to do that, you better go fishing. That's why we've got Eddie Dalmau on the line. He is with Baja Pirates of La Paz. Eddie, welcome to the show.
Hey, John, thank you for having me. I really appreciate being on with you today.
So I just saw a fresh fishing report from Magdalena Bay, or also known as Mag Bay, on the west coast of the Baja Peninsula. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about where this is located, how you get there, and how it's so different than fishing the rest of Baja, Mexico?
Yeah, John, you and I go way back, and we've known each other for probably over 10 years now. And I've been working in Baja for 24 years. And recently, last year, I left my position in the East Cape, and I moved over to Baja Pirates. And one of the things that really intrigued me, and one of the main reasons why I left and started working with Baja Pirates, was their operation in Mag Bay, and specifically in Lopez Mateo, which is the town in Mag Bay. Now, Mag Bay, the two big fisheries are San Carlos or Lopez Mateo. That's where most of the fishing operations take place. We decided to go with Lopez Mateo because it was a smaller town. It seemed to be more dedicated to fishing than other things that were going on. Like San Carlos has a big shrimp, harvesting industry that goes on there, and there seems to be a lot more going on. And we wanted something more laid back that was going to be more conducive to our clients, and so we chose Lopez Mateo. Lopez Mateo is located 2 hours from Laredo in Baja California Sur. So they have an international airport there. You can fly in from, there's a lot of different flights that come in from different areas, but the main hub there is going to be from LA or from TJ for those who live in Southern California. And then just hop on a quick 2-hour flight and you're in Laredo. We pick you up in Laredo and we drive you over to Lopez Mateo, which is about the 2-hour drive. And the operation there, we got our own infrastructure there. We're building our own hotels there. We used to use a hotel there that was already built, but we're actually building our own rooms because we wanted to have nice rooms with air conditioning, TV, something nicer for our guests. The town is very remote, so it's a very small town. So when you go there, it's all about fishing, eating, drinking, and having fun. But there's not going to be those day spas and, the fancy restaurants and things like that. So if you're going to bring your wife and she doesn't like to fish, then it might not be a place for you to go. And La Paz may be a better option for those. But if you're a hardcore fisherman, there's nothing that beats Mag Bay. And like I said, when I first time I went there and I saw the fishery there, I was like, man, I was blown away. I was like, I fished Cabo, I fished the East Cape, I fished La Paz, I fished Laredo. And when I went to Mag Bay, I'm like, man, this is different over here. I mean, you've got 100 miles of mangroves on the inside. So even if it's windy, you can just fish the inside in the mangroves. And you've got over 30 different species of fish that you can catch there, from snapper, grouper, snook, white sea bass. And the list goes on and on and on. There's, one day, I think the first time I fished there, I caught like 12 different species on day one in the mangroves. It's more like the nursery. So a lot of the big fish will come in and they use the protection of the mangroves as like their nursery. But then you go on the outside, when you go out of the mouth of the mangroves and you're in the Pacific, and you've got big grouper, big snapper. You've got probably the best wahoo fishing anywhere in the world. It's a little far for us. It's about 2 hours run, but you're out to the ridge where all those long range boats go from Southern California. And it's one of the, you'll go out there and you can catch, 6 wahoos in a trip, catch another 5 or 6 yellowfin tuna, catch some Dorado out there, and marlin, great marlin fishing out there. So once I fished there for the first time, I was blown away. I was like, man, this is different out here. So, like I said, I've been fishing everywhere in Baja. If you haven't fished Mag Bay, I highly recommend it. It'll blow you away. But just know what you're getting into. You got to be a hardcore fisherman who loves to fish, catch a lot of fish, a lot of varieties of fish, but you're not looking for that spa or the fancy restaurants.
Sounds like a fishing paradise to me. Why don't you go ahead and share the latest fishing report with our listeners?
Yeah, right now, I would say the main season in Mag Bay is going to be that September, October, November, and into December. And right now, the last couple of weeks, we've been catching a lot of wahoo, a lot of yellowfin tuna, some Dorado, big groupers, and that's all on the outside. And then on the inside, again, we're catching snook, we're catching white sea bass, we're catching some smaller groupers and snappers and things like that. But, clients are walking away with, in a day, you're catching, a dozen to 2 dozen fish in a day is not uncommon. And so, you're always getting some action. And it's not just trolling action, for the groupers and the snappers and the bottom fishing, you're dropping either live shrimp in the mangroves or you're jigging from the bottom. You drop to the bottom. You're fishing between, 200 to 50 feet to 200 feet of water. You drop to the bottom, and you can either jig or you just, drop to the bottom, reel up a little bit, and those groupers just hammer those live shrimp, and that's a lot of fun. So, like I'm, in the East Cape, I'm used to doing a lot of trolling, and, you kind of get bored sometimes when it's fishing is slow. Here, you drop to the bottom, and within 30 seconds, if you're not bit, something just stole your bait, so you better reel it back up. It's instant action. So it's a lot of fun, and the fishing right now, like we're like right in the middle of our season. There's a lot of good fishing. Like I said, wahoo is going off the charts, yellowfin tuna, things like that, big groupers. So a lot of fun going on right now in Mag Bay.
Let's talk about your most popular trips. You offer several trips, either, from just 3 days to up to, I think it's 6. But what's your most popular one? Would it be the 5-day trip with 3 days fishing?
Yeah, the 5-day 4-night with 3 days fishing is probably our most popular trip to Mag Bay. We do get a lot of guys who will do 4 days of fishing, and they'll do like two days outside, 2 days inside, and that's real popular. But I think our number one trip is a 5-day 4-night, 3 days fishing, and you can do that. We include in our packages hotel, fishing. We include transportation to and from the Laredo airport. We also include 3 meals a day. We include your fish processing, which includes fillet, vacuum pack, and freezing your catch. And we also include your fishing licenses included in that as well. And you can do a 5-day 4-night, 3 days fish for about $2,600 per person. And again, that includes everything. The only thing you got to worry about is getting your airfare to Laredo, and basically your gratuity for the staff and the captain, and your live bait. You're going to pay that to, if you're going to get a live shrimp to fish in the mangroves, you got to pay for that from the shrimp guys. Other than that, though, like when we fish mackerel on the outside, we go out and make our own bait. So we'll just take the Zabiki rigs, drop them down, catch a bunch of mackerel, and then we'll head out to catch the bigger fish outside.
Are you fishing out of pangas or cruisers?
We're doing center consoles, so we do have some super pangas, but we do more of the American-style center consoles, and those seem to work really well because you've got a lot of action going on. So you've got, if you've got 2 guys, you guys, one guy can fish in the front, one guy can fish in the back, and they're walk-around, so it makes it really easy to fish, especially in the mangroves. we do have access to bigger boats, but most people tend to, we fish usually 2 guys to a room, 2 to a boat, and most guys tend to like the center consoles the best.
Sure, that makes perfect sense. And I understand you're going to be at some sportsman shows. Are you going to have some sportsman show specials?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be, our first show starts in mid-January. We're going to be at the Cal Expo in Sacramento, and then from there we'll be at Puyallup. So if anybody from the Pacific Northwest wants to come see us, we'll be in Puyallup at the end of January, and then we'll be at Portland the first week of February. And we'll be there selling trips, and we're going to offer some show specials. You can get $100 off per person if you book at the show with us, and we'll have some goodies there as well. We'll have some shirts, some hats, and some mugs with Baja Pirate logos. It's such a cool logo, the Baja Pirate logo. A lot of people just ask for shirts and things like that. So we'll have some good merch there as well, and hopefully we'll see a lot of the listeners out there and booking trips to either Mag Bay or La Paz.
If folks want to find out more, what's the website they should go to, not just for Mag Bay, but also for La Paz?
Yeah, we have one website set up, and it has both trips available there, so you can get information on both trips. And it's very simple, BajaPirates.com. Go to that website, and you'll get information, pricing, all that. And if you have any other questions, they can always email me. My email is right on the website, and we make it really simple.
All right. Well, Eddie, thanks as always. It's great to catch up with you again, and I look forward to seeing you at the shows. And folks, again, check out the website now. It's really easy, BajaPirates.com. That's BajaPirates.com. You don't have to wait for show season. This would be a great Christmas gift for a buddy or a family member. Go ahead and book now and make somebody really happy for the holidays. Eddie, thanks so much.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. You take care.
Our coastlines and rivers are more than just water and sand. They're home to thriving fisheries, wildlife, and memories we pass down. But they need our protection. Join the Coastal Conservation Association and help restore, protect, and conserve America's coastal resources for today and for generations to come.
When you think of Work Sharp knife and tool sharpeners, you probably think of sharpeners for the shop or the field, but Work Sharp has a whole lineup of sharpeners for the kitchen, too. We're talking about everything from easy-to-use manual and electric knife sharpeners to ceramic honing rods, whetstones, and the new rolling knife sharpener, an innovative manual sharpener that will do wonders for your cutlery. Make sure there's never a dull moment in your kitchen. Check out the entire product line and order today at WorkSharpTools.com. That's WorkSharpTools.com.
Explore the Dalles, the hub where discovery and history come together. Whether the Northwest is your home or you're on an adventure, the Dalles welcomes you. Just 80 miles east of Portland is the perfect year-round escape with a community that cares about you. 300 days of sun, breathtaking outdoor recreation, and a downtown full of the unexpected. Oh, and the rich history that began before the Oregon Trail. Start planning at ExploreTheDalles.com.
Looking for the perfect gift for the hunter or shooter in your life? Give them a Henry. These American-made lever-action guns shoot straight and have a classic Western look. Choose from a .22 caliber Henry for plinking, a heavier caliber for hunting, or even a shotgun for birds and small game. Better still, these guns come in all sorts of finishes, covering everything from use in the field or on the range to showing off the best-looking firearm in your zip code. Henry rifles and shotguns come with a lifetime guarantee. And if you help need deciding what Henry is right for you, just ask. The award-winning customer service team at henryusa.com will be happy to help you out. So, go to henryusa.com and order a free catalog and holiday gift guide. Then, find what you like, look for a dealer near you, and get a gift that will put a real smile on someone's face this holiday season. Start searching for your Henry now at henryusa.com. That's henryusa.com.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 30th, so call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Welcome back to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse. Do you want to get into fly fishing? It's kind of intimidating if you've never done it before, but there's a brand new book that will help you out with that. It's the Orvis Quick Start Guide to Fly Fishing. It's written by Phil Monohan, and we have got Phil on the line coming at us today from Vermont. Phil, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is a fantastic book for the beginning fly angler. What made you write this?
Thank you very much. Well, the most common question I've gotten throughout my entire career when someone sees me fly fishing is that hard? And the immediate assumption that most people have is that it is hard. And, you know, as I say in the book, my answer to those people is usually no and yes. No, it's not hard to start fly fishing. What is hard is becoming a master of fly fishing, something that few of us ever achieve. Sort of like golf or playing a musical instrument. You know, I'm also a guitar player. I can teach you 3 chords in 10 minutes. You could practice for 1 day, and you can accompany yourself on the guitar. But if you want to become Eric Clapton, that's hard.
That's very well put. And we should mention you actually have a foreword by one of those people that is a master, Tom Rosenbauer, who is the author of the Orvis Fly Fishing Guide.
Yes, Tom and I have been friends and fishing partners for many years. When I worked at Orvis, I sat right next to Tom for about 5 of those years, and he was very kind in writing the foreword for the book.
Well, that was awfully nice of him, and it's sure to help with sales for you, too. But, you know, even without that foreword, this is just a great from A to Z fly fishing book. You literally cover everything. Why don't you go ahead and walk us through just some of the chapters?
Well, let me preface it by saying I've been in the how-to fly fishing business for 30 years. You know, I was the editor of a fly fishing magazine for 10 years. I ran the Orvis Fly Fishing blog. And so I have very strong opinions of how to do how-to writing. And it's really about giving someone all of the information they need to do something very specific. So my goal in writing this book was not to teach someone to become a great fly fisher and to be able to do everything in fly fishing, but to teach them the very specific things they need to catch their first trout or bass or panfish.
Right. And I'm just going to go through some of the chapter titles here, folks, and you'll get an idea of how this book is built. You know, there's why fly fishing, what kinds of fish can you catch on a fly rod, fly fishing gear, setting up your rod and reel, which is a great chapter for somebody who's never done this before, fly casting, trout flies, finding trout and reading water, fly presentation, hooking, landing, and releasing trout, warm water fly fishing, and where to go from here. So again, it's just a very well thought out and written out book that's just going to help any novice learn the sport. So let's talk about something else here. How you teach anglers to read water and not spook fish, because for not just for fly anglers, any beginning angler who goes out on a river, goes out on a lake, you know, it can be overwhelming. They don't know where to start. But you really break that down. We'll take a classic example that works for both ponds and alpine lakes. What do you tell people in terms of where to fish?
The thing I tell every beginning angler is that what fish really love are edges. They like edges between shallow water and deep water, fast water and slow water, or any mixture of those things. Edges of rocks, edges of trees that have fallen in the water, cliff edges. Because what they really want is the opportunity to spend as little energy as possible while having access to as much food as possible. So if you begin to look at any body of water and start to break it down into the edges, that's where you're going to find fish.
And I noticed that when it came to ponds, you had three places to really focus on. One was edges, one was the inlet stream, and the other was the outlet stream. And those are exactly the places I go to when I hike into alpine lakes in the Cascade or Rocky Mountains.
Right, because both the inlets and the outlets are the places where there is discernible current. So that means a fish can, again, sit in one place and have the food brought to them without having to spend a lot of energy searching for it.
Now, something else you did in the book is you actually came up with some basic patterns for anglers to start off with, for dry flies, for nymphs, for streamers and midges. You know, tell me about your dry fly choices, and will these work from coast to coast?
They will certainly work from coast to coast. I mean, one of the things that I wanted to avoid in the book is the sort of paralyzing feeling beginners get when they look at their options for flies in a fly shop. You know, any fly fisher has stood in front of this incredible bench with hundreds of fly patterns on it and wondered, you know, which one is going to be the one that catches the fish. So what I tried to do in the book was choose the most basic, most widely used and widely effective patterns that would really work anywhere in the country. And another point about that is oftentimes your fly pattern is much less important than your presentation. So, for instance, you could use a Parachute Adams dry fly pretty much on any trout stream in the country, and on most days, even when it's not imitating an insect that is hatching that day, you will be able to catch a trout.
Right. And I noticed that that's not on your list.
Well, I couldn't include them all. And the goal was to choose flies that would stay afloat for beginning anglers longer. The one knock about any parachute fly, of course, is that keeping them dry and keeping them floating is more of a process.
That's very true. That's very true. Moving on to your basic streamers. Now, you got one I think everybody loves, the woolly bugger. That's just a go-to just about everywhere, isn't it?
Absolutely. If you ask most fly anglers if they could only use one fly, that's the one they would choose, because you can catch every species of fish on it. You can fish it in multiple different ways, and it imitates a wide variety of things that trout eat. You know, a lot of people don't know it was originally designed as a hellgrammite imitation.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Right. Most people think it's a leech, but right. Russell Blessing, a Pennsylvania guy who designed it in the mid-'60s, was trying to create a hellgrammite. And over the years, of course, the woolly bugger has been changed and adapted, and there are now dozens of variations in every color of the rainbow. And the only reason a fly gets imitated and copied that much is because it works.
Well, that's more than fair. Last question for you. This book is coming out in just a couple of days, December 2nd. So how can folks get the Orvis Quick Start Guide to Fly Fishing?
Well, you hopefully will be able to get it in your local fly shop and bookstore. It is on Amazon. It is on the Lions Press website. You can find it in the bookstore at midcurrent.com, where I currently work. But I don't care where you find it, as long as you find it.
There you go. Again, it's the Orvis Quick Start Guide to Fly Fishing by Phil Monohan, coming out December 2nd. If you have got somebody in your life that maybe wants to take up fly fishing, this would be a great gift for them that they're going to appreciate for a long time. Phil, thanks so much for sharing all of this with us today on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you for having me.
Thanksgiving is now in the rearview mirror, but it is time for a season of giving. That's why we wanted to tell you about the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife's program to accept harvested white-tailed deer at select locations in December to help support local food pantries. Deer donation days are December 1st, 2nd, the 6th, and the 7th. Division of Wildlife staff will be available at donation locations to assist with drop-offs. This year, the Division of Wildlife began a partnership with the Ohio Penal Industries Meat Processing Facility at the Pickaway Correctional Institution. Division of Wildlife staff will transport all donated deer to PCI for processing and packaging. Once that's done, the Mid-Ohio Food Collective and the Ohio Association of Food Banks will distribute all donated venison. The Division of Wildlife intends to distribute donated venison to local food pantries in the areas where those who have donated live and work. Deer donations are accepted for free at the following locations on the 1st and 2nd. That would be the Killdeer Plains Wildlife Area, the Delaware Wildlife Area Shooting Range, and the Big Island Wildlife Area. If you want to donate on the 6th and 7th, you can also do so at the Killdeer Plains Wildlife Area, the Delaware Wildlife Area Shooting Range, the Hebron State Fish Hatchery, and the Knox County Sheriff's Office. The deer donation days coincide with Ohio's statewide gun hunting season running December 1st through the 7th. There's some good stuff going on there, and you should check with your state Fish and Wildlife Agency to see if they're doing something similar. And on that note, it is time to go. Here's hoping you're blessed in the days ahead, that you're healthy too, and do remember this. It is your country and you're outdoors, so get out there and enjoy it.